Hey friends, Michael Kingswood here, and it's story time. And it's Kickstarter campaign update time, really. So hey, check out the new look. The other day, as I was doing this whole streaming update thing, I realized, man, why do I want to use that generic background that Streamlabs does? So I took a little time and I put up this cool background, which I think is better. You tell me what you think. At least it doesn't. I think it looks kind of cool. Get some, you know, book covers and links to Twitter and Gab and BookBub. I mean, what's not to like? Anyway, so we'll be using that from now on. Whatever. So we're here for another update on the Kickstarter campaign, which, as you know, I've talked about it many times before. But for a little background, in case some of you guys are here who weren't here before, a couple of years back, I went and did a writing challenge to because I've been writing for a long time. I've got multiple novels and other things written and published, which you can and should go find at michaelkingswood.com/store. Um, anyway, a couple of years back, as part of my writing process, I engaged in a challenge to uh, write a 52 stories in a year, a story a week, short fiction, obviously, in addition to the other things I was doing. And I crushed it. I actually wrote 54 short stories that year, and I compiled them all into this great big, thick compilation of 720 pages worth of of short stories, which I crowdfunded successfully. And this year, going into 2023, it's a weird thing because that challenge ended in 2020 and 21. I was totally distracted with the rest of 2020 and all 2021. I let myself get distracted by a bunch of stuff. 22, I did a fair amount of writing, some writing. Got the sixth book of my Glimmer Vale Chronicles series done, and actually, wait, that was last year, 23. No, this is 23. What am I talking about? Anyway, and some other stuff, and I've crowdfunded that one and did a good job with it, and that thing's out. But coming into 23, I was like, man, I don't want to relapse into stupidity and not production. So I we're going to do the Great Short Story Challenge again. But this time I was like, you know what? We're not going to hold off till the very end and compile everything into this great big thick book, because even though it's awesome that it's so huge, it's it's also huge. And it took a whole year to get it done. This year we're splitting the 52 or more stories up into 5 collections of 10, and we're going to kickstart all of them, and the first one is underway right now, and that is the campaign that we're updating. Because it's a short story campaign, short story collection campaign, I set the goal a little lower. I'm not Mr. Bestseller, so my goals are always small. But they're small, and then they're small, and then they're small, and then they're small. But in terms of, I set it a little lower to make sure we're easy to hit it, and sure enough, we hit it like in 3 hours. I was like, well, maybe I should have set the goal higher. But since then, we've kind of been creeping upward. And here's where we are today, since today is the purpose of the update. Let's share the Kickstarter stats. So as you can see, the goal was $200. We're at 548. A nice person a day or two ago went and banked for the paperback version. This says 3 days to go. It's actually 4 days, a little less than 4 days to go, because it's going to end on Tuesday, April 4th at 12:45 p.m. So crushing success in terms of getting the thing funded. Obviously, we want more. As another way of showing a status, I always like to pick up the Kick Track. Kick Track, those of you who don't know, is a fun little site that does trending, and they're saying we're trying to do about $700. But as you can see, we're here. A whole bunch of support at the beginning, a trickle now. I expect over the weekend there will be a up a growth in that support, because come the Kickstarter will sends out a 48 hours notice, and there's a whole bunch of people who have been following and watching the campaign but haven't yet supported it, and I trust that they will. And you can see what happened on my last campaign. Same thing in the last 48 hours. There's a big jump at the front, trickle in the middle. Last 48 hours was again a bunch of support, and that's typical for Kickstarter campaigns. So already very happy with how things are going. It's going to end up being even better as we ended up here. But if you've been following it, or just whatever, and haven't backed it yet, now's the time. You have until Tuesday at 12:45. Regardless, it's been a success. Going to get the story collection out to everybody. I said in the campaign it'll be out in June, but obviously it's going to be sooner than that. The guy I've got who's proofreading the stories is well into it already. Since one thing I've found is that if I'm the only person who proofreads things, I miss stuff. I've also found in the past that when I hire people to proofread things, they miss stuff too. So I hire somebody to proofread it, then I proofread it after that, and then we miss less stuff, and things are more perfect and nice. So that's the plan. So more than likely, even though I said June, the rewards will be out to people. It's probably before the end of April. This week we're writing story number 15 for this year, and so campaign number 2 will be starting probably in May. Definitely in May. And you can set your clock the rest of the year. We'll be doing the rest of these campaigns. So at the end of the year, we'll have all 5 things in the campaign. And I'm hoping / hoping that the campaign results will go up and up and up and up and up as we have more product to present to the world. But we'll see. Either way, it's been fun so far. It's going to continue to be fun, and it's going to end up being at least some amount of profit. So that's good. So that's the update. That's where we are. A little bit of movement since the last time. Nothing super spectacular. Oops, I forgot to put the banner. Follow this link, michaelkingswood.com/52in23v1 if you want to back the campaign. It's also in the show notes down below. I will, of course, love you a long time. If you choose to back, I'll still like you if you don't, but I'll wonder what you're thinking of. That having said, some of you guys don't know me who tune in here, or will find the archives of this thing sometime in the future. It's like, why should I back your stuff? I don't know if you're any good. Well, that's a great question. So you can go to michaelkingswood.com/store, and you can pick an ebook there, and you can use the coupon code free sample and get 1 ebook for free, and you can read it. Just read it by Tuesday, and then you know that my stuff is good, and you can come back it. Or you can also go to this fun website, Coast Guards. Every time I say the website name, I screw it up, and I don't know why. But I'm gonna share right now the blog. The Postcards from the Age of Reason has been being nice enough to give me a place to share my stories from time to time. And right now, there was one that was shared last Monday, which I think is a pretty awesome Halloween Headless Horseman story. And if you look back in their archives, there's others that have been shared before then. So you can go read my stuff for free there, and then determine if you want to back the campaigns or not. Or just go to this web store and get the books. Anyway, I think that's all I got, because I have other work I have to do this afternoon in order to pay the bills. So, hey, I've seen a few people pop in and out. Thanks for showing up, and I hope if you have Not yet back the campaign that you will. If you don't plan to, no worries. Keep showing up. We do Story Saturday every Saturday. We're reading through the stories right now in Stories from the Great Challenge. In fact, I just got done recording the story for this week. It's a story called Drops in the Storm. It's a shorter one. And if you go back on this same channel, go back through all the videos in the past or the podcast in the past, if you're listening to the audio podcast feed, you can have all kinds of fun, listen to all kinds of cool stories. And yeah, as you wish. Anyway, that having been said, you must like this channel, subscribe to it. You must push thumbs up on this video and all the other ones you have. And if you're on the audio podcast feed, you must also subscribe and like all the things and leave reviews, because that is your job. How dare you not do that? It's whatever, as you wish. But if you want to know more about what we're doing here, clearly you need subscribing is the best way to do it. So anyway, thanks. I'm going to sign off now and get back to work, making money. All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you tomorrow for Story Saturday, and we'll probably do an update stream then as well. Until then, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Where is the...